before he has the time to pop off?
I think it's not awful, right? So obviously Conqueror is really strong, but this just from my one personal game of playing Rise, I actually hated it. Like, I think it just takes time to get used to, but when you're playing versus Rek'Sai, Kassadin, Renekton, and Pyke, these are all champions who are trying to get on you. And so to have that phase rush, to have the move speed, to be able to try and kite it out, I think is really useful. It's definitely something you're going to be happy about. And to take a second with the... just go over the rest of the runes. It's like, you'll see he has got the presence of mind, which I think is... also, the Sword and Sky has the presence of mind, which I think is a little bit more important. That Twin Warfare isn't gonna... he's got the mana flow band, but he's not going to be getting as much extra mana, and he's not going to be refilling in team fights as hard as the Kassadin is. Because remember, although Presence of Mind doesn't reset your cooldowns anymore, it does refill your mana quite a lot when you score a takedown, something that the Kassadin is going to be very, very happy about.
Absolutely. And guys, as we are going on to Summoner's Rift, remember, this is the new I Am Hypertension here with Docta. We're on to Summoner's Rift. On the blue side, it is the University College London with Fleximamo in the top lane. We have Boaster at the jungle. I'm not going to try that. Twin Warfare in the mid lane. Wolf at AD carry. And Henry Tunam at support.
And of course, over on the King's College side, we have Ryan in the top lane, Nail, Lauren, Jungle, Sword and Sky, and then Lil Pump Boy and Old Doffin in the bot lane. Old Doffin, that's a name and a half. I like that one.
Yeah, Old Duffin. I don't understand what the joke is.
I think it sounds nice.
Fair enough. But one thing I would like to point out here is, because of the preseason, there has been one king on Summoner's Rift now. It's not the Baron Nashor, it isn't the Rift Herald, but the new king is the dragon here. And we are seeing that the first dragon will be the Cloud Drake, meaning that it will not be the Cloud Soul for this game, meaning that leaves Mountain, Ocean, and Infernal Soul. Which one do you think would best benefit these teams out of those remaining three?
It's an excellent question. That's a real nice trade for the Camille up top. But I do like the Ocean Soul, of course. I think it's really gotten everyone. I think Mountain is actually really sleeper. And I think for both teams, Mountain is going to be pretty useful, right? Because Rise and Kassadin, the extra tank stats, because they're building so much health, is always really nice. And then for the top laners and the supports will be getting a little bit of armor. The Nautilus more so than the Pyke. And then for the top laners, anyone that has healing loves Mountain Drakes, because they that little bit extra tankiness might end up getting you an extra rotation, which is going to get you even more extra health. And I think healing is something that this... oh, hang about!
Yeah, Ryan taking a lot of damage, almost getting completely bursted down. Gonna have to back here, probably gonna have to pop the teleport, giving instant advantage over to the side of University College London.
Yeah, these are some big trades for the Camille, and the Renekton does win this matchup, but only at the sort of level 3 mark, and if you're playing around the shield properly. And I think Felix definitely knowing that it's sort of now or never to get the advantage in the lane, and it's something he has managed to do, but the Renekton's in the area, but Rise and Elise moving from the pincer.
Yes, they are. Naylorin is in a little bit of trouble. Fleximamo does look like he's gonna not quite catch up. Ryan actually walks back into the cocoon, into the damage. First blood over to Boaster, and this means that Lauren is gonna have to run with his 30-foot tail between his legs. Good play there by University College London.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge for UCL. Not having the teleport available on the Renekton because he just blew it. That's an excellent assessment of the situation. They know, yeah, Rise can outpush even from level 1. Yeah, he might have some mana problems, but it's okay if they get the kill. And now they're actually looking to get the dive onto the Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai knows, though, he did have the Tremor Sense spot out Bahur, but they know the Renekton's coming. So, okay, fine, we don't have to make this worse. It's like, we've already had a good situation. Let's not ruin it. And that's absolutely huge. With the kill also going over onto the Elise, she can recall, grab some Moby Boots, and take that down to the bot lane. Because we said you don't want to be showing too much attention topside in this meta because the dragon is so important. But with the dragon having not even having spawned yet, that's going to be as good a time as any to get that action. Instead, she moves in towards the mid lane.
Yeah, and right now we are seeing, as you said, the mid lane movement over there. The Cloud Drake does spawn in less than a minute. And really on this map, I would like to see that extra priority put down there in the bottom lane. Right now we're seeing one ward We're seeing really no coverage there, and the Elise is on top side currently. So that's going to be a little bit of an issue, especially with Twin Warfare low on mana. If they were looking to take that early Drake, they're kind of behind tempo on it.
Yeah, I think that it's all right now. You know, neither bot lane has recalled yet. No one has the items. Junglers can't solo it right now. I mean, they can, but it's not time efficient to do so. They are losing a bit of vision control in the area, and the crab will go over to Lauren, but that's fine because UCL have the cone to get over, and the Elise can repel it in if she needs to. And both these bot lanes have potential to do it very quickly, but we can see real calm play. Obviously, that's a chance that Henry has to look for a hook there on the pike. It seems like old Dolphin might have been trying to bait that one a little bit, but Henry knows, like, look, we just chill, we play calm. When the Drake is up, when Elise is here, we can get something going. But you're right that Bocher has spent a lot of time clearing now. He's gone for the Gromp, he's gone for the Wolves. He's still chilling on his starting items. And in a matter where you probably want to be getting that snowball going bot as fast as possible, you'd like to see it. But actually, we've got synchronized recalls from the bot lane and the jungle. That's real nice planning there from UCL. Yeah, the Nautilus gets cancelled, but
yeah,
still real nice.
We could still see a teleport come out here from Twin Warfare if he does back, decides to get a little bit of AP to support in that fight with how low his mana is, or just let it build back up over the next few minutes. Because that Cloud Drake has just spawned. It is available on the map. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen the preseason, Cloud Dragon now provides ultimate cooldown reduction, is now in the top lane. We are seeing Ryan get the better of Felix Mamo, and that's going to be a solo kill in the top lane. Mamo bit off a lot more than he could chew.
That's a rough one. Taking a few tower hits as well, but now Elise.
Here we go. Cocoon lands, damage lands, sword in the sky, going to be put in the ground. That's Twin Warfare getting his first kill of the game.
Yeah, but Boko, you're going to the wrong half of the map, my friend. He's the dragon, my guy. Let's go get the dragon. The teleport, though, has been used by Camille.
Here we go. That's a lot of collapse onto Twin Warfare, who did flash out, but Lil Pump Boy flashed as well, able to knock him up and knock him out there. That will be the kill for the side of King's College London, their second of the game, and now they will be the ones who get first crack at that Cloud Drake.
Yeah, they're moving on down to it, and Bocher is showing in the top lane. He's been spotted on the wall. Now a teleport coming through from Twin Warfare, and it looks like this one might actually just go over. There's no way to defend it, and this is a level 6 Gaston, so this gank isn't going to work.
No, it is not. I mean, right now, that dragon is actually so essential for this composition of King's College London because of the fact that you have two super essential ultimates here. But oh no, look at Bocher. He's in so much trouble. The damage is way too much. Lauren taking him out, picking up his first kill of the game.
Yeah, able to find that kill out, and now Pyke moving on down, but no ultimate available. I don't think that we're going to see a double kill coming down here, but that's really nicely done from Kings. We thought big advantages found on the map for UCL. They had that really good synchronized recall, and that is something that takes a lot of extra time and plan to put into, and to figure out that's something you want to do, or that you can do. It's a nice little trade up in the top lane, but
yeah, slice, dice, ruthless predator, every single little bit of blade going out, and that's going to be...
That's why Renekton wins. Wait, I think Henry's just sitting here waiting for level 6, but the wave is cleared too fast. He's not going to be able to find it, so they're not going to look for anything off that fight. But yeah, the advantage was there for UCL. They had the planning, but then with the Nautilus getting cancelled, it gets a little bit harder, but they still had the gist of it. Get the kill mid, and then they all just sort of split up, and Bocher rocks to the top lane, and suddenly, you know, Ryze is left alone mid lane, getting collapsed on by 3 people, because although they tried the synchronized recall, with the Nautilus getting cancelled, that meant that the bottom lane of Kings ended up going faster. And it all sort of went very downhill very quickly, so it was a good initial effort from UCL, but in practicality, it was executed on much better by Kings.
Yeah, right there, we do see that more trading in the top lane. We kind of expected this top lane to be as volatile as it is. We've seen each person get kills, but there is still that 27, now 28, 29 CS lead.
Oh no, but look mid.
Mamo, yeah, mid. Oh my god, that collapse into the jungle. There is so much overwhelming vision here from the side of King's College London, and I love seeing the level of vision control at this level of play.
So they've got this much vision, but they've given up so much for it. And I'm not talking about the Rift Herald on your screens. We see a 26 CS lead at 9 minutes for Wolves. So we'll have to find out if that one's going to be worth it, because these are two very scaling hyper carry ADCs.
Yeah, and as the chat is loving to say, you got Wolf, also known as Yassi.
Is that who Yossi? I've been
Wolf
reading
is
that.
Yassi.
Yossi.
So yeah, well, at least he said he was Yassi. Whether that's a lie or not, blame him, guys. He lied to us if it is.
I mean, look, all I'm saying is that if Yossi has millions of fans, I'm one of them. If he has tens of fans, I'm one. If he has one fan, it's me.
Yeah, and guys, again, if that is wrong, blame Wolf. He lied to us. he impersonated then.
Okay, chat. There's a lot of question marks in chat. I was like, okay, who is Yossi then? I got no idea.
Hey, Yossi is just the bossy.
Yossi is Steibelbacher in the jungle.
Oh, the jungle. Okay, Bacher. We're just gonna call him Yossi right now because that's a lot easier to pronounce than his actual name.
That's what the people want.
Yeah, that's what the people want. So yeah, Yossi will be called Yossi from now on.
Hang on. After that move in the mid lane, going to getting the kill and then pathing top when the Drake's up, I'd like to rescind my previous statement. If Yossi has millions of fans, I don't know if I am one after that.
How could you betray Yossi like that, my guy?
Because he betrayed his team by medium key soft inting.
Yikes! Just the hard flame coming out from Docta. I thought I was supposed to be the flaming caster here.
I had to take a sip of my water. I have no patience for people that don't Drake, but oh good lord.
Speaking of no patience, here we go. That is going to be the engagement of the bottom lane. The Flash and the Dredge line gonna lock down. Little Pump Boy, Wolvie will get the kill, but here comes the response from University College London. They already take out Twin Warfare. Wolvie gonna be hopped on by the Queen of the Void. Nay Lauren takes him out. Henry Tunam just in no man's land. No man left to speak of as he dies as well. King's College London win the fight and take control of Dragon is now Yossi. The man is in trouble. The man on campus. The hook is blocked by one of the spiderlings, and that will mean the man Yossi gets to escape.
All right, but now it just becomes a matter of how much can you stall Yossi and force his recall. Yossi, don't do those wolves. The Drake is spawning in 20 seconds. You don't have time to do the wolves and keep the Drake. They're going to lose a couple of plates here, and like you said, they've lost control of the area. Now, the teleport is coming up from the Camille pretty soon. That'll be up in 30 seconds if the Drake lasts that long, but I think it's going to go down just very quickly because, again, there's little priority being put there on the side of UCL, so it's going to be just started up, and of course, this is Tristana who can do it very quickly, and
yeah,
it's just absolutely gone.
Not only was here comes that second Drake in favor of King's College London, but we now see it will be the Mountain Soul. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen this.
Felix is now happy with all these extra rules to hookshot on. That was the example given in the preseason video when they were demonstrating the powers of the Mountain Rifts. And they were like, Camille.
Yeah, dragons can be absolutely, let's just say, insane when it comes time for it.
Oh yeah, but
so I'm excited about how this will develop with someone getting that Mountain Soul, getting exactly the power that it provides. Why don't you tell the audience what exactly the Mountain Soul does provide?
Oh, in my opinion, it's the second weakest, but it's the second strongest shard. So the soul itself just gives you an out-of-combat shield. It gives you a Malphite passive that scales with AP, AD, and health. So there's something for everyone. You know, it's fun for the whole family. But I do think just the secret, like, hidden power of having that extra 8% armor and magic resist from each shard of it you get is absolutely beautiful. And there is now opportunity for a lot of those to be picked up by UCL because they've tactically lost the first two Drakes, but
yeah, now it looks like a full-on melee in the top lane. That will be Yossi shutting down Rhine. Now Lauren will go down as well. So thus far it is a 2-4-0 for UCL. They don't get the tower quite yet, but they have regrouped for it. No movement quite yet in the bottom lane, but there it is as Old Dolphin gets absolutely deleted by Wolf there. And this means now map control firmly in the side of UCL.
yeah, I think this is an example of the dives where they've just planned it a little bit better ahead. You know, the last dive we saw did not go very well. It's because they didn't have a way out planned and they didn't have full information on where everyone is. But once they knew what was going on top, and they probably had a counter to that teleport was available for Sword, they're like, okay, we do this one simple dive, And, you know, we have Camille take tower, she can drop it with ult. We have Elise take tower, she can drop it with a passive. And we know that bot are bot. This is a safe dive to execute. And then, once the jungler and mid lane have shown top, you know, Henry 2 now says, okay, cool, I'm just going to look for a hook because we can blow Pyke up. Pyke's very good versus harass, but when he gets all in on and locked down by someone like a Nautilus, he's really going to struggle to get out of that one. Lil Pump should have got out of that, but again, for a second time, he doesn't buffer correctly against the depth charge. And yeah, it happens, but I think it is something that should be called out in games like this. This is high up. This is the losers round, but it is the round of 16. This is 16 best teams in the in the South.
The round of 16.
It's still like there's an element of like an element of skill that I think starts to be expected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once we get around to this tier, and so not being able to buffer or to be able to buffer your CCs when you're playing on Tristana, I think is very dangerous.
Absolutely. And one thing I would like to mention is, like, you mentioned like how tough it is. The teams that these two teams have had to get through to get here. I mean, UCL in particular has had to take out RHUL Colossus, Bardiff, and now they're on to their main rival, where King's College took out the Portsmouth Paladins and the Brunel Gunslingers.
Oh no! Don't bring up the Portsmouth Paladins. The wound's still too fresh.
What? What about them?
It's my university.
Oh, big rip, man. Hey, we can both share in sadness because my university got their butt kicker in our primary thing, too. Yeah, we're known for one thing, and we got absolutely destroyed in it yesterday. Roll Tide, baby. But with that on the map, I mean, right now, King's College is knowing that one thing that Bardiff had to learn and that RHU Colossus had to learn. You have to fear the man Yassi.
Hold on. I've got a hard flame chat real quick, though. Serious Ventera in the chat is saying it's okay for Triss to miss CS because her passive makes it hard, but realistically, like it's not that hard to work around the passive, and you have your the E active as well to help mitigate that because you get the wave clear. On top of that, you also have a support who can help you with setting the creeps up so that your E can kill them. But the reason that Lil Pump is down so much CS is a really strong presence from Henry Tunam because the Nautilus just claps the Pyke. So he's been doing a real good job of walking up and zoning, and just making sure if anyone steps up that they are going to die. And that's obviously been accentuated by the fact they got those early kills off the dive, which is really useful. But Lil Pump has also given up a lot of lane pressure. They lost so much XP and gold and CS when they went for that big invade to get the control in the red side jungle. And that did pay off because they had the vision on the Elise later on when they went for that second Drake. But it did cost them in regard to having the sort of gold in the lane. So we'll have to see if that one pans out and if it's worth to make that trade.
And one thing I'd like to point out is that is second Rift Herald taking first turret, and Yassi's the one who gets the credit for it right now, but it is Henry Tunam in trouble in the bottom lane. The teleport has come in from Felix Mamo. Looks like that Henry lasting a long time, just long enough for Dauphin to be the first one to die. Ryan goes hard onto Wolvie, who escapes somehow with his life. Ryan dies as well to the man Wolvie, and this is University College London cleaning up their rival and then some.
Okay, so this is reactive player. Like, okay, we see the place going down. We have two teleports. Let's use them. We've got a strong Camille. She's finished her Titanic. She's got also her Ravnus. She's spent a lot into lifesteal as well. She's got Legend Bloodline and Overheal, so she's very ready for these slower fights. And now they start picking up their Drakes. And like I said, Mountain is really strong for this UCL team because of the healing focus that Felix has put on that Camille, and because they have a big tanky support and a health stacking mid laner. So these are real nice Drakes to be picking up. Actually, I say health stacking mid lane. Twin Warfare hasn't built a row, but he may still go for Righteous Glory or Frozen Heart. It could give some sort of like heavy armor build, and in that case, he's still going to be happy about having the extra, the extra resistances. So they go down, they grab those kills, get themselves a Drake, and then nice Rift Realm, Realm Warp, that's the one, into the mid lane as well to guarantee that they get 2 towers off the back to completely swing this game in their favor. However, I now need to take a second to flame because this man has built Void Staff second item. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a second. I'm going to go through. Let's look at every member of the team.
I'm going to pause.
Ryan,
here is your Doctor turning into LS moment. All right, continue.
Yeah, okay. Ryan, 43. Let's bust up. I'm not busting out a calculator. But Ryan, 43 magic resist. Lauren, 67. Okay. Oh, we got Sword and Sky, 43. Lil Pump Boy, 34. and Dolphin 42. So the average is about 45. All right. Do you know what a third? Do you know what a third of 45 is?
A third of 45 is 15.
It's about 15. Do you know what gives 15 a magic pen for a significantly cheaper amount? It's an Oblivion Orb. It's 1.2k cheaper. It's doing exactly the same thing with a little bit less AP. Like,
yeah,
I get void stuff when people haven't built any magic resist, man. That's
you also negate the healing that would come out from the Rod of Ages passive if you did that. But now Twin Warfare, who has been focused out by our observer and my co-caster here recently, taking down Rhine. As I say that, just more pressure in the top lane. Again, even with the advantage of the Drakes being on the opposite side of the map, you cannot let Rive split push because of the fact that he is so good right now. He's so overwhelmingly powerful.
And he has gone for this Saras build. He's skipped the row, which is something a lot of people opt to do. And it just gives you a lot of earlier power. You spike a lot harder. He's spiking right now. He's delayed it because he's wasted 1.2k. But compared to a Ryze that was trying to stack up a row right now, he spiked very hard. And so he's going to try and use that. And like I said, they're getting that kill up at the top lane. They don't do too much with it, although they do have very nice control of that North Quadrant for if the Baron becomes an issue. They don't really have the position on the map to ever sort of look for that bot lane tower, mid lane tower, top lane tower after finding that kill, but they still end up getting some gold, and that is always nice. But after all that, Ryan has now finished the Sanguine Blade, so we'll have to see how much of a threat he becomes.
I want it now. I want the moment to rant.
Take the reins.
Okay, guys, even if you are a solo laner like a Renekton, if you are this far behind, if you are almost 60 CS down, if you are down, let me look at the exact number of gold here that he's down. He is down almost 3,000 gold. Do not waste your money by picking up a lethality carry item when you need health stats to help provide for your team who doesn't have that much bulk to begin with. With the Rek'Sai building full AD to start with, you need to be the secondary member of that front line, the bulk that can't be cut through. By building off that Sanguine Blade gives you no health. It gives you lifesteal and lethality, but at the same time, that Ryze is eventually going to pick up an Oblivion Orb. So it doesn't really matter that you're going to get that lifesteal, that little bit, because of the fact that you aren't going to beat that Camille anyway, or the Ryze anyway, who can lock you out that far. With this decision, I think Ryan has pretty much cost himself any sort of relevance in the team fights.
So that's the thing. He's not useful in team fights now. He cannot teleport to the fights. Is not great. But is it that bad for the split? Because this item is still very overtuned. Yes, he's incredibly weak compared to the Camille and compared to the Ryze, but the thing is that even if he builds tanky, when he steps out to Camille, he's just dead, right? Like, if you are in lane with Camille, you are dead. She will hook shot onto you. She has more CDR than you right now, so it's short cooldown. She can slow you down with the sweep, get on you with the ult, etc., etc. And so I wonder if the option is like, well, look, I can't team fight. Like, yeah, I could build for the team fight, but Camille is never going to want to come to a team fight because she's Camille. She knows that her time is better spent just going for the towers, even if she is strong with a team fight. So maybe it's better to just try to build to a way that he can keep her in lane. I don't know if he can in the current situation, but we'll have to see how this one pans out over the course of the game. But the dragon has spawned, and once again, UCL have advantage of the area. They can just take it right away, right now, get themselves a second shard. That will be another mountain. And I think mountain is absolutely the strongest shard for this team.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, I wasn't talking about like building a tank Renekton. I was talking about building like tankier items like Black Cleaver. As now Ryan, again, he just gets shredded because he has no health, he has no stats to support him.
So
if he went from like
if he built like tanky, he still takes the exact same trade in that situation, right?
Yeah.
Because like Camille does true damage. But what I want to know is if he builds more tank now that he has the Sanguine Blade, can he actually look to fight back? If he looked to fight back there, he died, right? He still is in a situation where he has to run. But if he gets to a place where he can take her initial burst and then try to fight back with the lifesteal and whatnot coming through from that Sanguine Blade, will he then be in a situation where it ends up being a reasonable purchase? But that's the wrong half of the map. The Baron's been started and it's just gone.
And the Baron's gone, so now there is really no hope for Ryan to be able to take on Felix Mamo, who is 2 levels up. He is about 60 CS up. He has the Baron Nashor. He's got 2 full completed items to the 1.5 of Ryan, who's now trying to finish off that Titanic Hydra. And right, the map is completely in the control of University College London. They're up 9,000 gold. They're up 4 towers to 0. They're tied in Drakes, but their Drakes in conjunction are much more powerful, providing that 16 MR, I believe, right off the bat.
Yeah, and I'd like to rescind my previous statements about about not being a Yossi fan if he has millions of them. Because he's redeemed himself slightly. Losing the first 2 Drakes was it wasn't great, you know. The way they were lost when they had such control, had such opportunity to take the first one, was not great. But clearly, this is a man who has learned and adapted over the course of this game. Said actually, Drakes are kind of important. And now they've used the obscene lead that they got in the bot lane and in the mid lane off the roams, and bot lane off of just the extreme pressure that Henry Nam was putting out in the lane, and then the CS lead that they got from that roam, which is an excellent short-term investment from KCL, don't get me wrong, but it hasn't panned out too well in the long term now.
But, and it looks like Brian he doesn't look
oh,
like
he's a lucky boy.
Here, he's a lucky boy for now.
Oh, was he
but there was the hook shot, and he's gonna get the 2v1 here. That's Lauren for the double kill. Sword in the sky. Looks like he's about to be put into the stone because he's about to be stone dead. Twin Warfare, one more overload would do it. He flashed into the tower range, did not get the kill, so now that's both mid laners with their flash down. Overall, it is a 2-for-0. Here comes the Pike, who does land that, but does not get any sort of damage whatsoever. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade there. Little pump boy having to run. And honestly, I think this is more so, you talked about the early Drakes, it's the big brain. They weren't going for these wimpy, like, Ocean or Cloud Drakes. They wanted the mountain. That way they could survive things like the Pike ult. That way they could take these fights, separate the map, and push down. They just took 2 inhibitors off of seemingly inconsequential fights.
Yeah, if they haven't had those mountain Drakes, Twin Warfare definitely would have died to the Pike ult there. Been lower on health and would have gone down. Like I said, 2 inhibitors picked up because they managed to find the picks, and they are now capitalizing on them so well. They didn't in the early game, but they've definitely learned, and they said, yep, okay, they're being much more decisive now, making the right calls. You just get that 1 kill, and it's like, okay, we are so strong because we have a Nautilus. We can just hard force. That's the power of Nautilus Kai'Sa. Power of having an Elise as well. You have the point and click from the Nautilus. If anyone ever gets in range to be point and clicks, they will die because the Elise can follow up, the Kai'Sa can dive in deep, and the Nautilus can guarantee landing a hook as well. So it's so dangerous for anyone who wants to step up. In this case, it's Ryan who steps up, and he goes down just immediately to Felix. He was got lucky because the hook shot didn't connect, didn't get the stun, didn't get the attack speed, but then he mistimes his dash. I think he maybe was like he just had to use it because it was going to time out the second cast, but he ends up still face planting into the edge of the ult from Felix. No, he was still inside the whatchamacallit, the ultimatum.
The Hextech ultimatum.
Yeah, it was like milliseconds on it before it ran out. I think he just had to do it. I think it was going to time out if he hadn't, but because of that, he still dies. They lose 2 inhibitors and a nice 1v2 from Twin Warfare as well. And now, of course, the target is the top lane because at 27 minutes, it is the only thing left on the map.
Yes, it is. Everything else has been taken down, including these Drakes. There is a Mountain Drake spawning in another 30 seconds because, you know, the big brain plays of UCL and particularly of Yossi trying to save it to where that way they can get 4 Mountain Drakes, and it's setting up this top lane, as you said, giving away this early Drake, setting up the top lane and allowing Mamo to do that to Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, just walks up and just immediately drops, something that Ryan has to respect. The man hasn't got boots. It was called in chat a while ago. I thought maybe he'll pick some up, but he just didn't at any point in this game. And now we're just straight through onto 1,000. I don't think there's any way that KCL can defend.
No, there isn't. Right now, they are losing their bases. They are losing their lives here in just a second. Hextech ultimatum onto the Pike. Cut down. That's 3 already dead. 4. Everything's gone. And so is King's College London, as in the Battle of London, University College London reigns supreme.
No, I heard someone say the word London so many times in one sentence, but London. It was true. UCL come up with the dub there off of excellent capitalization on a select number of plays. There were some not great ones. I'm still mad about the Elise moving topside after getting the kill mid and you know, everyone dying mid. The dive bot wasn't great because it wasn't perfectly planned, but it's something they learned from absolutely. The first they do the gank mid, Elise goes away from the dragon, everyone dies, they lose Drake. So okay, cool, we need to pay attention to these dragon things. That's something we should be capitalizing on.
Yeah.
And then the dive bot, they're like, okay, We tried the dive. We didn't have full information. We got hard collapsed on. We actually end up going one for two, even though it was a dive that we chose. So the next time they go for a dive, like, okay, we know bot lane a bot. We know this is guaranteed to be a 3v3. We have ways to drop the aggro. We know our exit paths, and they know that even if the dive goes wrong, because of their bot lane just intrinsic in the 2v2, they can definitely guarantee